actually a dominant fashion. So if I'm LAG, I'm simply going back to practice. Whatever we did in hardpoint, throw it out the window. We need to make sure we're rotating, doing the things right, and making the game more simple for them. And on the opposite side, the Ravens, even though it was a small sample size, they made easy work out of the NYSL players.
That's your NYSL as well.
I know, it kind of hurts my heart that I gotta say that, but they got it done. And the best thing that I heard on the desk was that Ali said they handled the chaos well. In those final moments in that first hard point, Nasty was going clutch. Even in the control, they had a round where they went 17-8 lives and still won an attacking round. But today's a different day. You gotta show up on Mr. Sunday.
You know, we're getting close to Championship Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say championship,
yet, but
no, not there.
It's a lot of firsts here in opening weekend. Guerrillas versus the London Royal Ravens here on Hydro Electric. Again, we were just calling it Hydro for right now. You can also throw a Zarqua in there, whatever you would like. LAG spawning on the more preferred side, at least here off the rip, as London eager to get back inside of the hard point. As we said, you know, they could have a few monitors up, just aware of the World Cup game that happens to be going on right now. We'll see if they can channel that inner confidence as they're going up against a very testy Guerrilla squad. Changes back and forth. Currently, it's Asim going for a swim.
Yep, now Mr. Scuba Asim gonna work his way through the low water side, gonna potentially try to set up on this pinch. Yeah, one player in Zero who's also setting up that flank as well. So you have to hold your guns up right now if you're LAG. One player drops, you potentially are going to spawn all the way across the map. They have every single crossfire set up. The only thing is LAG are still getting a lot of time.
Just keep swimming, Asim. You're still causing some problems on the side, and actually that opens up a lane now here for Paul X. And how about the work together back to back? Arsenals will put them both to bed. Nasty eager to keep up the same level that he had in his series yesterday versus New York. As we said, the man was literally on fire, much like his hair. Good work overall from LAG as they will clear the wave and look good to grab this final 25.
Now final 20, that's what you see London just being so aggressive towards Dome, because they know that they're basically controlling the spawns for the next hill. You do not want to allow anyone to slip through. The spawns are really, really sticky, and just like that, that is a mistake. The spawns are now going to flip. You're basically blessing LAG with the better side. They're going to be fully set up, waiting for the bush to come to them, and that is a mistake right there from the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a strange push, especially here on Hydro Electric, where Jay feels like we talk so often about, hey, you know, in general spawns, you know, late or early rotations, rather, you know, all of that discussion points. On Hydro Electric, it feels like it's only inflated. Definitely a talking point that I'm sure we will have at the end of this match, because potentially it's going to put Guerrillas in 100-point territory. Now the Ravens at the back foot.
Yeah, the Ravens just make that mistake. Now they have to answer for it.
Goodness.
535 seconds. We're going to have to start rotating over towards that P4, because that could potentially be a money hill, but they're still putting a lot of pressure on. So if you're LAG, just someone hit the rotation early, because London just making a lot of key mistakes. That's going to be 3 dead. And look at the spawns. Once again, London, we have to rotate. We got to cut our losses, because you're going to keep stabbing yourself in the foot, and it's not going to be good getting a final 15 to 20 seconds when you're allowing LAG to get 30 to 40.
Oh, a bit of stabby as Arsenals eventually does have to fall inside of the water. He gets ripped apart, but that knife, I think, may have very well helped solidify the spawn. So Guerrillas once again in the more preferred positioning, as Neptune nearly puts away 3. Guerrillas continue to see success, but who knows? Maybe it could be Asim again making these water routes happen. Was able to do it on P2 for a moment. That's the reason why London have the points that they do. See if he can make some magic happen once more. Catches one off. Arshti's not checking his back, and that's gonna be 3. Make it all 4 down.
Beautiful.
Great work from Asim and the Ravens to right the wrongs of the spawns.
Great work right there from Asim to hit the beautiful breaststroke underneath that water. Great strides to hit that movement to eventually execute the break on this P4 hard point. Good final 25. Should get themselves right back into this game, sorta, but LAG will have the favorable spawns going in towards Generator Hill. Zero's going to challenge it towards bottom broke, and he's able to find one. He knows that there's still another player from LAG in this position, able to find the second, finds himself on a 5-3, 1 off earning that airstrike.
We got to point out as well, as you said, we're going to keep tabs on Zero while Paul is making some noise in the back spawn. So all eyes onto the captain of the squad in Zero. But one thing too, Jay, I wonder if a little bit of the level of aggression as the streak does get earned, maybe from the Ravens, is it's a revenge match, right? Excuse me, Asim going up against his old squad. He's undefeated in revenge matches. Could be a culprit for maybe a little bit of aggressive play being shown right now from London.
Oh yeah, I know a little bit about revenge matches back in the day as well. You know how many times Nameless dropped me in? Every single time I came back to beat him. So it's just a different fire, man. You're probably walking to your setup and your whole chair is in flames. So Asim is ready to go for this match. The only thing is, we have to make sure we're on top of our rotations. The fundamentals have to be here. And based off the first rotations of hard points, LAG are just making this one look pretty damn easy. Almost up 100 points. Now, the Ravens have to early rotate over towards P1, but make sure that they maintain those spawns for P2.
Yeah, it looks like it was Modern Warfare 2 hardpoint versus Vanguard hardpoint. Like London Royal Ravens going for the late hits. How often do we talk about, hey, in Vanguard, it's a little strange, right? You're going for those last few seconds. You are trying to go for the scrap points. Not in this game. And the score very much reflective of the play style that we saw on the first side. However, we're back to the original P1. I think as Arshti's actually trying to make a little bit of a play toward the back. He'll eventually actually be able to find one. So a nice little pinch being established right here from Guerrillas. As Nasty's able to drop a few. Arshti's meanwhile on the 4 spree, causing all kinds of havoc in the base.
And that's just a beautiful play. Once again from LAG, they said, okay, Ravens, you guys can take the first 15 to 20 seconds off of this P1. We got ourselves a comfortable lead. We're literally just going to fight for the spawns. Once they do that, they're able to take them off, not really give Ravens all this time off P1, but they're thinking big picture. Once again, they found a lot of success on that early P2. They take control of the spawns going into the second rotations, and now it's 2 times harder for the Ravens to try to break into the next hill.
They at least do have player number 7 in his scene trying to make a route. Again, it feels like all of the points have come from him hitting these long routes, going for a swim. However, LAG, much smarter, learning from some prior mistakes, are able to sniff their old teammate out. And great work ultimately from the Guerrillas, taking every single advantage that the Ravens have decided to hand on over as Arshti's aggressive toward bottom dome, making Paul X pay. Thought he might bring out the knife for that gunfight versus 0, but Jay, this score is starting to get away from the Ravens.
Yeah, it's starting to get away, and that was a beautiful play right there from Arshti to just keep his balance on the edge of outside dome. Just finesse so damn long that it made it difficult for the Ravens to try to execute the break a lot earlier. Finally, they're able to get it in the final 20, but the spawns are so sticky for LAG towards the back that this final 20 is going to be theirs. 100-point lead and counting. Right now for LAG, Ravens just simply have to slow down this game. They have to set up around these money hills. They're going into this red hill. This can be a good one. You do not want to push up and allow players to sneak onto the back and potentially flip them. You need to get back into the game with this hard point.
Ravens as well got to be careful with how far up they are pushing. Again, that far left side of your mini map, a lot of opportunity for players to spawn in a bunch of different directions. I think it's probably 0 at this moment. Comment to the guys saying, hey, listen, we got to be careful. We got to make sure we're not pushing up too far. Don't want to have an Atlanta FaZe versus Boston Breach situation when it comes down to P3. Now they call upon Mr. Hook to try to make the route. See if he can make the play, as ever so carefully able to take down Asim, his old teammate. You can see where the Guerrillas happen to be positioned all throughout this control room. And it looks as if they've broken it. Indeed, they have. Arshti's with a great 2-piece. Now has broken things open for the Guerrillas. Double century mark reached.
And you're totally happy with this situation if you're LAG, because you're in control of the next spawns as well. No one on the side of the Ravens hit that early rotation because they know they are down by a lot. We have to fight for every single second to try to get back into this game, but now this relies on them to get a flawless break onto this P4. Neptune going to be the first line of sight, able to take down Nasty. Nasty was a player that was going unbelievable for the Ravens yesterday, sitting at 19 and 17 so far. It's just very, very difficult when you're consistently playing from the back foot. Guerrillas are fully set up on the next hill every single time. You're just running into pre-aims, and they could potentially close out the game on this one.
Yeah, a very unorganized setup right now from the Ravens, Jay. I mean, it feels like, again, the writing's on the wall. Like, we can already tell what the issue has been with the Ravens. Like, they're not really getting outslayed. Asim's been hitting some routes, and that's really been it. They just keep losing spawns. They keep hitting old hard points when they shouldn't. And like you said, they're constantly working from the back foot. It feels like basically every single hard point has either been gifted to the Guerrillas or they found themselves with the overall advantage. Now 9 seconds left before this hard point is done and dusted. Nasty just trying to put in a little bit of work as his game will end even. Last 3 seconds, Neptune streak will come through from 0, and I guess is a positive, but the spawns have flipped, and regardless, Jay, LAG's about to win this game.
Yeah, the game's all over. LAG just basically made all of the adjustments from their Friday performance in Hardpoint and came out totally different on.
If you are London Royal Ravens, you gotta be ready for this guy, Alec, right? Daddy Alec, he has looked excellent so far to kick off this season. And I tell you what, Jay, that S&T KD is absolutely terrifying. A 1.73 It's going to be difficult to keep up those same numbers, but as long as the Guerrillas are finding that same first blood, looking good in the post-plant positions, who knows? Maybe the KD can stay there for a while.
Yeah, I think if you're RCs, you're sitting nice and comfortable knowing that this is your mode. This is what you got picked up for this team for, to lead these young guys in these crucial moments. So it's looking like the early pressure is going to go on towards the speed bomb, but RCD's is going to be that bomb carrier. No, Neptune's the bomb carrier. He's going to get back down from a couple shots coming in from Asim. That is going to force that rotation over towards A, and the entire time where they're doing this, Ook is taking ground, taking that side of the map, and clearing out a lot of situations for his team to get pushed up.
Yeah, you got 3 players from the Ravens, a little slow to react, and that's exactly where Hook can try and strike. As I thought it was actually going to be Paul X, but Nasty just rounds the corner. Great teamwork out of those guys. However, it's Neptune over the top who's able to even things out at a 3 versus 3. Bomb about to get planted. Oh, a near victory there from Arcades. Asim tosses out the stun, gets out of the lights, and now it's time for that post-plant positioning.
Now it's a 2v3. They do know the positioning of Arcades in towards bottom lights. As Nasty was able to find 2 plays towards the middle, but Spark with great shots, able to make it a 2v2. Nasty finds 3 on the round, all left up to Spark in a 1v2. He does pop the Deddy.
Ooh, nice early gunfight victory. Takes down Nasty, brings it to a 1v1. 0, the veteran, versus our Major 2 MVP from last season in Spart. An early round, we're talking a lot about momentum, but this young gun is not going to cave under the pressure. Clutching it out for the team. 0 hops on the defuse, but only for a moment. The round is done. The young man hits the deck, but it will be LAG. Watching this bomb explode and seeing that number 1 next to their name.
And that was beautiful plays from Spark from start to finish. Obviously, they get first blooded in that situation. I thought Hook was going to be able to pick up that kill on a Paul X, but Nasty actually assists with that kill, gets that first blood. Neptune with the frag grenade finds the trade, makes it a 3v3. Then they get the bomb down. You see Arcades take control of bottom lights. Fortunately, not able to find that kill onto Asim. Neptune gets picked, and it's all on Spark. They know where Arcades is. What can Spark do? Spark finds 2 to close out that final round, clutches up for his team to now go up 1-0.
And that post-plant positioning number is going to remain the same for LA.
7-0.
Nice little numbers. Don't have a whole lot of stats so far to kick off the year, but that one is still going to remain at a perfect 1,000. Spark and Nasty early duel. Spark will keep up that spree, or at least his early success. Now at 3-1, he'll find the pick for the roster. Meanwhile, it's London. Still thinking about that plan over at the A side.
Yeah, beautiful repositioning though from Spark, because now he's allowing his teammates to work this late flank. He already got his kill. He's staying alive. So now he's a problem that London has to deal with. Arcees unfortunately is going to get picked off, and Paul X with great shots out of the TAC 56 to find 2. Now it's a 2v2.
Yeah, you can tell Paul X bringing out that weapon for the right reasons. Spark rocks the dead silence. Paul X again, his 3rd kill of the round. Another 1v1. Spart now versus Asim. He was able to do it in round number 1. Can he do it again? Asim,
he's ready.
He rushes over toward that site. He's going to be able to get the bomb down and get out of dodge only for a moment.
Dead silence is no longer going to be in play for Spart. So now if you're Asim, let's just crouch around. Let's try to get the sound cues, and he plays it beautifully. Asim with the 1v1. He said, Spart, I'm not going to allow you to do it again. Evens up the round count at 1-1. Beautiful play.
It's a big play from Asim. As we said in that hard point, there wasn't a whole lot of great plays for the Ravens, but he was really the only bright light, trying to hit the routes, trying to make the plays. And as we said, versus your old team in the Guerrillas, he's trying to have a little bit of revenge. As we said, coming into this game, I think he's one of the only players, I'm pretty sure, who has played for 4 different franchises in every single year of the CDL, and he is yet to lose a revenge match. Talk about streaks, we talk about stats. Definitely wants to keep that one intact as we fly in for round 3.
Oh, an early shot coming in from RCs to back him down from that position. They know that Asim likes to play alone at this B site, but look at the ground that the Guerrillas were able to cover on this A site. So aggressive. Is going to be Hoop sitting towards top plat. 0 going to be towards bottom lights. Unfortunately, Neptune does get picked off. So now in the 3v4 situation, bomb is going to be down. Great shots from Asim to take down Arcades. He knows he's the island player. Now it's a 4v2.
And Hook just puts in a few peppered shots with the Vaznev from range. You know, the SMG is pretty good, but
not going to get it done from there.
But by no means the M4. That's without question. Hook and Spart left in a position to clutch. Thankfully, they are together, so that is job number 1 done. The only issue is that you got 30 seconds and, well, the entire roster of the Ravens still to deal with. Bomb down in an awkward position. Ravens aware of such. Yep, Nasty's ready for it. Nasty's ready.
This is not going to be easy. 15 seconds. Obviously, they're just trying to play for kills at this point because there's no way in hell they can grab this bomb and plant it at any one of the sites. Nasty's ready for the gunfight out to Spart. Leave it all up to Hoop. The round is basically done and dusted. And actually, he's got a beamer on him. That's Hoop the Nuke. Even though he does get traded. Great shots with that Vaznev. So at least take down 1.
Yeah, as a Vaznev user myself, I give major props to Hoop despite the round loss. Not an easy shot to hit, but again, it is Asim having his time in the sun, his time in the spotlight, grabbing a few. Now at 3 and 1, as the Ravens will take the advantage now in this search and destroy. Like we talked about, both these teams very reliant on this game mode. We talked about, you know, for both these rosters as well, Jay. Don't have really the same names on paper as, you know, the Atlanta Phases, the LA Thieves, the Optic Texases of the world, et cetera, et cetera. This is a game mode that they're really going to rely on a lot throughout the season. The first blood is going to come in. Spart with the sniper eventually does get evaporated, and now it could be on the Hoot to make the play with Dead Silence.
And look at the play call already coming in from the Ravens. They find that pick on A. They get 2 players from LAG to now rotate over towards that A bomb. Hook is going to get the info real quick. Ain't nobody on this side. It's going to be all going towards B. Unfortunately, Arcades does drop, and now it's a 4v2 and a retake on this B site. Neptune with the sniper, unfortunately, can't hit it. But this is going to be a tough task to try to climb in a 4v2.
Not going to be simple whatsoever. Neptune's still pretty much out of the play. I mean, for God's sake, he has a sniper and a pistol in his hand. Hook at least able to find 1 for the start. So current 2 versus 3. Time continues to tick away. Hook desperate for some information, and he's not going to find it. Neptune thankfully does find a Vaznev off the ground, but by the time he does, he gets dropped to 3 straight rounds for the Ravens.
Just worked out beautifully. Once they get that pick towards A, you take down Spark. Then you force all of LAG to hit their rotation. A beautiful play call to hit that rotation over towards that B side. Take down Arcades. And as soon as that happens, a 4v2 at that B site inside kitchen where there's only 2 to 3 entrances. Very difficult task to try to do it in a 4v2 situation. Right now, the Ravens aren't making any mistakes. They are answering to try to tie this series up at 1. Great place from them so far in this S&D.
And I will say, we were mentioning Arcades numbers to start off this S&D. I think it was like a 1.73. Yeah, it's not looking much better.
Not at all. Oh,
it's
man.
definitely going to be impacted with an 0-5 start. Not what you'd like to see. Thankfully, Hook at least able to even the numbers up. So we trade early, and Dead Silence is rocked to gain a little bit of info toward this B site side. And dropped once more. Asim doing great work inside of the base. It is a trade. It ends up bringing us now to a 2v2, given, I guess, a bit of information that you have if you're Guerrillas. They are now headed toward the restaurant.
Gonna try to rotate this bomb all the way back towards A. Paulex does invest his Dead Silence here. And he should potentially almost catch someone off guard. Just gonna be sitting on the backside of this door. Finds the kill on the Smart. Now it's all left up to Neptune. We saw 1v3 earlier. Can he try to clutch this 1v2?
Oh my goodness, Neptune. Dead Silence is popped, so he has no idea that Paul is right here, round the corner, and it's Paul X all day long, locking down the kitchen. Did the same thing yesterday in their series versus New York. This side of the map belongs to him. Paul X, 7-2, and now 4 rounds in a row from London.
That's just a beautiful adjustment right there. LAG said, no, the spread is not really working. Let's just try to attack this straight on towards that A bomb. Unfortunately, they get picked. As soon as that happens, you see the Ravens, they're not panicking now. They're not going to really force that bomb plant. We have a lot of players in great positions. And then eventually when it turns into a 2v2, Paul X with the play, once he pops that Dead Silence at the repositioning towards B, clutches up the round for the Ravens.
And LAG in some major need of a little bit of life. I was gonna say Hoop probably has maybe a bit of sound cues, but not able to put it to good usage at all. Asim runs through, instantly takes him apart. Now it's gonna be on to Arcades, the closest player really in distance of this site going down. Asim is already in their base. The Guerrillas, for God's sake, can't keep track of him. Arcees puts his first kill on the board, but this is convincing search and destroy right now from the Ravens. Asim got a little bit of a smile on his face knowing that he is causing some havoc on the map.
Yeah, the aggression is nonstop right now for the Ravens. They keep finding that opening first blood. Once you take that player down in Hook at that B site, you know it's basically yours. There's usually only one player on that side of the map. Once you take him down, two players will be at bedroom to have to hit the rotation, and one player obviously watching the middle of the map. They're just taking the map to them, dominating map control, and so far it shows in the scoreline. Point game for the Ravens.
Paul X went away from the streak at 5 in a row. I'm not even sure if he's going to need it at this point.
Oh my God, another one.
Say it is just a nice little nade over the top there from Nasty. Another first blood for London as they will quickly apply the pressure onto the Guerrillas. Ook eager to find a bit of information, a bit of life. As we said, this has been 5 very strong rounds so far from the Ravens, and 0 aware of Hook's positioning. You couldn't write it any better than that.
I didn't even know you could play it like that. The fact that he was sitting there watching his flank is a very tough call to make, and the Ravens just make this one look easy. On a CDL dynasty like he was on for the Atlanta FaZe team, consistently they were always getting some of the best placings. Obviously all of last year they placed second. That kind of takes a toll on you, but for Arcees to now be on a brand new roster, he's bringing all the stuff that he learned from his old team to this new squad, trying to get them comfortable. And we got the chance to watch that little content piece. He said that we're basically all friends. We love to communicate with each other, and that's the biggest thing. They're having fun playing with each other. So hopefully Arcees is able to answer back after a terrible performance at that SD.
Yeah, without question, definitely needs a solid bounce back. Meanwhile, on the Ravens side, they'll begin things in round number 1 on the attack. Nasty was an absolute menace in that prior series. Some incredible numbers, like 7,500 damage. He's happy to be back in a respawn position as London very quickly and honestly very effectively rushed their way over toward that B zone, almost a tick in already.
Yeah, but the only thing is you only have one player on it. You have allowed Hoop to go all the way through that A site and work towards this flank. He does find one, so he's going to cause them problems, but it doesn't even matter. The Ravens take care of him. They still only have one tick of progression at B. The second one is about to come in, and you see the spawns from LAG. Only one player spawns on that spawn side, so everyone else has to just commit towards their push towards A. But they find a couple kills. They can potentially set up this pitch, make it 3 down. Last player up is Paul X.
We'll see what Paul can maybe do in this position. He's got somebody toward his top bedroom. Quite a few players over at the bar. He could absolutely find a pick, maybe 2. Oh my goodness, nearly turns on to Arcees. It felt like that kill had his name written all over it. Well, he does hit the dust. He can at least maybe have a little bit of a smirk as he heads back to the respawn screen. Ravens down to the backside of their spawn. Jay, they're still convinced about going toward this B zone, and who can blame them? They're 2/3 of the way there.
They're winning the trade battle. Just have to consistently just get on it, trying to extend this time. And the spawns from LAGs look like they're going to give this one up. So right now, London are currently up by 1 life, 1 minute and 30 to work with. If you're LAG, just play for the map control. Stay puts out towards kitchen. Make sure you have a couple players watching a mid connector, and one player obviously watching the flank as Arcees finds that first.
Big pick from Arcees, however, seemed going to be there for the trade. So actually a few players working in from the back as well. And hold on a moment. LAG will look to be a great setup. Now they call upon Spark to try to do all the damage possible. He eventually gets dropped. Now they've got 3 players on the point. Now make it 2. Ravens doing some good work up close, winning the trades and finding those early pinches. Puts LAG in a bind.
Yeah, this is tough. You have to get there. You got to try to chain a couple kills together. Neptune down's fine the first through mid connector, but unfortunately the trade is going to beat it. That's 3 dead. Last player up is going to get taken out into RCDs, and what looked like to be a fairly strong defensive round from the Guerrillas. They maintain that B control a lot of the time, but they just simply were not cutting their losses. I thought I was going to be saying, Ravens, we have to do a better job at stacking these points, because they could have closed at that B point a lot earlier. But when you're slaying the way that you are, that's all you have to do. Get your kills, have one player on it, and then when you solo out, get a clean 4 dead at that 8 point, everybody stacks the point, and they close out the attacking round in dominant fashion.
Yeah, and that's how hotel control can work sometimes. As we know, that A zone is pretty guaranteed to go the way of the attacking roster. If you're able to grab B early, you are in such a good position. Guerrillas, I mean, what? It looked like maybe one wave they could have held, if not two, but they fall to pieces. They crush in just a moment's notice, as they will now start their campaign on attack over at that A zone. Some good aggression being shown from the SMGs on this team. They seem eager to make the flank, however, for London, so this could cause a bit of a problem at that A zone. Meanwhile, it's trades across the map. LAG presence at both of these zones. However, it's Neptune doing great work with the Vaznev. That's 3 in a row.
Big shots out of Neptune, but now with the RTDs dropping towards that B point, we have to commit towards A. There's one player here that can cause them some problems. You're able to take care of him, so they're actually going to get aggressive through their side. They want to push through. They want to try to play for a couple kills while we're solo capping this A point. But the thing that really gets scary, we've seen a lot of teams do it, is how good they are at maintaining that bedroom control. If you are LAG, the break has to come through the back so you can eventually spawn them across the map. And then at that point, all your focus is middle and bedroom.
Nice little flank as well, coming in from a seam at that A zone, so not guaranteed from the Guerrillas. The extra point, or the extra minute, does not come in. Meanwhile, Neptune, rocking the dead silence, wants to play for the streak. Nearly has it. Does get dropped. And the Guerrillas continue to focus their attention at this B zone. Maybe going to send one player over just to get the cap, make sure it's solidified. The Ravens already in a moment where they're having to pick apart players in their base, able to do the job for the first few. Zero and Paul X make their way out. It's Smart for the double. Trades back and forth. LAG do get the official capture at A, and now we've got ourselves another minute.
So a minute and 20 to work with. We have 2 players who are trying to work towards this flank. Nasty is going to spot one, able to hit the great shots to take him down. We saw this play coming in a lot yesterday. When you were working around that backside, if you don't get any kills, it's basically detrimental because you're wasting a lot of time just getting towards this position. So as long as you're the Ravens, you just have to trade efficiently while your teammates are maintaining this bedroom control. They're doing a great job of doing that, but RCDs is able to find 2. Now look at where those other 2 Ravens players spawn. All of LAG have to just focus their bedroom now.
Look to do it. Dolphin diving into the point, but it's Paul able to put away 2 on the current 4 spree. And the rest of his teammates are doing the job that they have to. Great work coming in from Paul X. Now 17-7. It's not just been this streak, it has been multiple to kick off this hotel control. LAG now on the far side of the map, spawning over at restaurant. 25 seconds left. Maybe one more good push at this.
One more good push, but they are still not winning any gunfights in towards bedroom. Paul X has had a full-on weak stay in towards top hotel as he finds himself that kill streak, picks up that airstrike. Let's just finesse a little bit. We don't have to give up our life for free, and he has played this position absolutely beautifully. 5 seconds until Ravens close out this round.
Maybe a few more players to hop on the point, but they're going to be handled. They're going to be dealt with, and there you go. A solid round from the Ravens, more specifically, a very solid round out of Paul X. And as we said, Jay, I mean, that's the part of the map that you have to focus on and control. Is that top bedroom, whether for offense or for defense. Paul was basically a one-man show, constantly cutting off the forces from the Guerrillas, making their jobs that much more difficult. And I mean, those last 45 seconds, it never really felt like LAG had a chance.
Yeah, it's not easy. With about a minute 30, their initial push is to go around the back. Once that gets shut down, there's a minute left on the clock. Now we have to hesitate and wrap back towards bedroom to try to find him in every single corner, and it's very difficult because he was picking up kill after kill. Just a lot of wasted time right there from LAG to not find any success. It's all about the back control at bedroom if you want to capture that B point.
See if Ravens can remain with a flawless record in the controls. They had a 3-0 victory versus NYSL, and now they're trying to do the same versus the Guerrillas, and off to a wonderful beginning here in this round number 3. Paul X, pretty as ever. He's hanging out. He's actually able to observe what's going on in the restaurant. Very beautiful part of the map. Enjoying his time as LAG know that this one is all but over. Another minute, pretty much instantly, is going to be added on to the clock. Is now Zero finds himself on a spree. You got what, a solid team streak working right now for London.
Pretty sure Paul X hasn't died for about 3 minutes and it's still not going to slow down. That's going to be 2 dead. One player from LAG is going to spawn towards back spa. Big kill from Neptune to take down Nasty. You see the problems already. Spark has the top bedroom control, makes it a lot more difficult. Finally able to take down Paul X, but Zero with that rotation back towards top flat. You have some bedroom control. You can potentially set up this pinch. Beautiful, beautiful break to try to get this push onto B.
And London could get, I was gonna say London for a moment, could have got going. Two players from LAG, a little slow off the spawn. However, they're going to put a few away. Paul X and Zero still trying to cause some problems. Interesting gunfight to the top side of the map. As the team is able to take it. And that's actually going to be a second pick coming through from Asim. So LAG, more specifically, Spartan's going to have to be aware of his position. Some great work coming in on multiple sides of the map right now from the Ravens. Spart trying to have a few players come off spawn, join him, throwing down the trophy, waiting for the forces to arrive. Ravens are not just here, they're already in that objective. Time's going to be paused. Paul X with some great teammate support. Asim firing over the top. Zero from the back lines did in fact earn the streak, and while they do get wiped away, it's 1 tick and a minute 10 still on the clock.
Oh, that was the SCE. Let's put that one away. We don't want to use that one. You still have that precision airstrike to work with. But as long as Zero just stays alive and towards his top position, he's doing wonders for his team. Hook does find 2 players at that kitchen side, so those players are going to consistently be forced to hit through the middle of the map or overextend. And now it's on Hook. Can he try to maintain this back in control as he finds himself in a great position?
Okay, well, Asim takes himself down, and Zero slashes him with the knife, gets brought down to 1 HP, by the way. And like we talked about, this is basically a checkpoint for the attacking team. You want to try to get to that bedroom. It's really your first objective, but time has continued to tick away. They can't get anybody on the overextension. LAG has been so solid and locking down their base. Here comes the streak. The Ravens getting ready to push on forward. Arsty's in a great spot. A few members from the Guerrillas working in the back of the base. As Hook looks to apply the pressure. London seeming to fold right now. That 1 tick looks like that's all that they are going to get. Asim hops in some trophies there. That's 2, however. Neptune, can he trade 2 of his own? Not gonna happen. London's still alive and kicking, Jay.
It's 1 tick away from them closing out this map. They have the perfect setup. You have the crossfire. You're watching your desk. That's going to be 3. Make it all 4. And it looked like what the Ravens did yesterday, and there's 17-8 in lives remaining. All they needed was a clean 4 dead. They wrap back. They get the kills out of bottom bedroom. Once they get on that point, they had the perfect setup. You have Asim, who's sitting at middle checkout desk. He's knowing that they're all spawning spa. Everyone else is just watching that right side door, waiting for them to sprint out, and the Ravens clutch up on their another attacking round to close out the control in dominant 3-0 fashion. I said before the map, their 3-0 yesterday wasn't the best, but this one was a lot better. What a performance from Paul X and Zero. Both of those guys went on 9 and 8 streaks, just maintaining bedroom control the entire time. Paul X on defense, Zero on offense. If Zero doesn't stay alive as long as he did, also gets the knife as he runs out of ammo, he was just making plays for his teammates to have easy openings to get towards that B point. Guerrillas simply didn't have an answer, and the Ravens taking now a commanding 2-1 lead in the series. That was great.
I mean, these last 2 maps have been perfect from the Ravens, as they will maintain, by the way, a perfect record in control. No, not just 2-0, also in rounds. They are 6-0 right now in control. Granted, both of these victories, both of these numbers end up coming on hotel control. But hey, I mean, in that final round, you can see it. They remain positive. They remain composed. Zero was staying alive in top bedroom. We talk so often about, for the offensive roster, as long as you have that positioning, you give your teammates a chance. They waited their timeout, and it was perfect execution from that point forward. I mean, LAG, it just feels like have lost all bits of momentum. They just got ran through in this control, buddy.
It definitely did, man. But if you got to take anything away, it's that the Ravens, at least on that map number 1, are missing the fundamentals in hardplay, and that just simply comes down to rotation. So now we're going to Mercado Las Almas.
Oh, there it is.
We got 7 hills. We got 7 hills, where at least 4 of them are money hills. So you got to make sure your rotations are on point. I just think the way the Ravens are playing right now, they got that first map jitter out the way. Asim is a 3 was, that's good though. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good.
Mercado Las Almas. How about that?
Oh, that might be a 6.5.
Okay,
I think
we're
that was a
improving.
6.5.
By
There you
major
go.
one, I'm gonna have it sounding crispy for you. All right, it'll never be as good as you, but we'll do my best. All right, here we go. London spotting on the bad side of the 2 as we head in for Mercado for game number 4. That was a bad one. My apologies. I just totally messed it all up.
Totally fine. Totally fine. LAG starting off on the better side this time. HCod is doing a great job of just finding 2 kills on the hill. They're also maintaining a great control towards green. They allow Nasty to sneak on by. You take care of him. And this has been a flawless start to this hard point. Exactly what you need to do if you're LAG. Maintain this right side of the map so you have that perfect setup for that P2, because that is a money hill, a very difficult hill to break in.
Yeah, unlike most hardpoint maps, right, where you spawn on the left side of the map, on the right side in comparison to the mini map, they actually spawn on the top and bottom, which just heavily emphasizes how crucial this next P2 is going to be. LAG do excellent work on that opening hardpoint, and they are literally spawning inside a cantina for P2. Great work early as the Ravens in desperate need of finding a pick and maybe finding a few kills in a row to help get the break in.
And Nasty finds that opening. Now this opens up tunnel. Asim gets the perfect timing. Paulex also wins the gunfight. Only 1 player left from LAG. Just simply going to get out of this point, try to finesse your way in towards top green. Fortunately, he gets taken care of, and that is a beautiful break coming in from the Ravens. Now all of LAG consistently spawning out towards head side. Gonna have to basically cut their losses here pretty soon. But Hook, the nuke, finds to at least break it for a little bit. But Zero with the trade. This final 25 should be his as long as he wins this one-on-one.
Yeah, 1v1. Zero's able to take it, so great time for the Ravens. That is a 1v1 that gives you 25 seconds. That's the way it works here at MW2. How about Asim? Hungry for 3 in a row, 4 in a row, and LAG are having some struggles. We talk about this next rotation. Thankfully, though, they cut down the man leading the charge. Guerrillas, a little bit of a sweat off the brow type of situation. They're going to hunker down, place those trophies forward, and get ready from this opening attempt from the Ravens.
Oh, and Hook finds a big kill on Zero. That player pushing through that old hard point to try to set up that pinch. So now you're forcing all of the Ravens to try to break this from the front. Trades going in favor of LAG. They're still in control, and with a map like Mercado, you gotta make sure that you're able to cut your losses here pretty shortly, because the next hill is gonna be Barbershop. As long as you win the gunfights, you should be okay. But trades going back and forth. Can Hook try to win this 1v1 for another 25?
Oh, nope. But it's great work. It's great work for the Ravens. Some solid cover fire that is gonna net them even more time. LAG again are gonna have those spawns for new, but I mean, given how P1 went, considering how the spawns are off the rip, really not a bad start by any means.
Not at all.
From the Ravens. We'll see if they can try to make another break. Daddy Alec trying to cause some problems through mid-arch. He eventually does get taken down. And despite how small the hard point is, Jay, like we said, pretty much all points on Mercado feel like a money hill.
Yes, they do. And you see the pitch that's already coming in from the Ravens. Asim is able to win that huge gunfight towards the back. So now they have pressure from back alley and middle. Spartan Arcties, though, they are able to slow down that pressure through the middle of the map. But Asim and Zero combine for 2. And a beautiful break once again coming in from the Ravens on what looks to be like most of these hills so far have been money hills. P2, P3, and P4. They're very difficult hills to break, but they are hitting the routes. They are executing the pinch, and they are finding great time. This is a beautiful, beautiful way to get themselves back into this game and now take the lead.
This is just excellent from the Ravens all the way across the board, man. They've got the advantage. They're going to have the lead as we get ready to head in toward our next hard point. Feels like the Guerrillas have been here early at each and every single one. And outside of P1, the Ravens have managed to break successfully. We'll see if they can do it again. 20-point advantage as we head in now toward 10 plat. Paul X established here on the pinch. You've got multiple players from the Ravens trying to calm out their positions, figure out where LAG could be. However, it is going to be a 3-1 trade advantage for Guerrillas. Meanwhile, it's Zero sitting on the 4th streak.
Great first hold from Guerrillas. They're going to be able to take this lead right on back. Number 4 in Arcties is the player watching that middle map. He actually is going to get taken down, so now it forces them to watch every single different angle. London have to hit execute the break right now, and they do. Oh, they don't.
It's close. It's close. See? All right, not going to be able to take it there. Looks like London may cut their losses, focus on the next hard point. So a little bit of critical moment there for the Ravens the first time. As LAG will take a minor advantage Let's go and step aside, actually. I'm really interested to see how the London Royal Ravens are calming. Let's go to Liston with those boys.
On the stairs, gather. On the stairs, gather.
One sedge, one sedge.
On the stairs on your Paul.
One's pinch. Pinch, dead. One more yellow truck.
Nice ball.
Get his back, get his belt back. He's on me top.
I got your pinch, I got your pinch.
Yo, yeah.
I got two.
There's two more time, last one time. Last he's Charlie out the window.
Yeah, he flew out me in the back.
He's naded.
He's two up there, there's two just
There's
standing
two,
there.
there's two.
I got one more shot. Nice, one more in time.
I can't. Cool. Push me, what the fuck? In time.
Can't see anything mid.
There's a sub in there. I spawned out through.
One mid tunnel.
I need help with this. Yellow van,
Bottom house, one shot. Bottom house, one shot.
Yellow van cutting, going up. I need help with this, bro. I'm absolutely gonna try me out. One shot at a time. Last two on time, one shot.
Last one time.
They're
Okay.
both
Okay,
on
come with me.
time.
I need it, watch out.
I'm going blue, I'm going
I got one more.
I'm
Good chat, mate, good chat, mate.
Full set.
mid, bro.
Yo, someone's got a cup blue. Someone's got a cup
I'm
blue.
already blue.
You're already blue.
Yeah. Blue me, dead.
Some pretty decent comms for an ultimately new team. Hook, well, he's going to give Zero some new teeth as we head in for our next hard point. Let's now go to the other side of the screen and Liston now with LAG.
I dove across this fucking. I'm on guys.
Shrink it for you guys. Stay down.
The locker said you watch out.
Trying to go right with Alright, yo, one guy's on you guys, pushed up in the lockers. One guy's back alley barber, going in barber. Going hill.
On time, dead. Another guy time.
One guy was barber.
I'm one shot. Push out barber together. Push deep. Penny back barber. That's one mid. Back barber lane. He got me. I hit him with an 8 stun.
I'm one shot. We just got
40 seconds. We're good. We need to get barber control if we can, guys. Okay.
I'm gonna try. He's gonna come to alley, maybe.
Yeah, jumped out alley.
Okay.
I'm dead.
One mid.
I'm dead, bro. He's some alley.
Okay. Mid got me straight here. We're good. I'm dead. We're on deep breaths.
Yeah.
He was mid like dark area.
What's on
Dark area.
Pin dead.
I'll say
I'm trying to
get. We gotta try to get grandma's guys. Fuck that.
holding grandma. Wait, no, he got me tunnel.
Wait, Ace is going.
Bottom grandma's. Hey, some weak dead in.
Nice, good shit. I spawned here.
Yeah, we're gonna start getting back.
Mid map in the mid pocket.
Mid pocket, one shot. I can jump.
Yo, he deep left.
Okay.
In the back.
I'm trying to hold grandma.
Already deep.
I'm playing safe grandma. Deep breath.
And the comms from both teams are great, but obviously you can hear frustration on both sides when we went in for both listeners because both of the squads are trying to execute a break that was basically impossible. London were able to get themselves right back into this game with a great hold on P7. Makes it a 5-point game. Right now, if you're LAG, you want to make sure you're maintaining grandma's control. I never even heard. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible for us to get another grandma's, but it made it into another title. But London so far have answered the call to get themselves right back into this game, take the lead, and now they're potentially going to be able to grow it a little bit more with great time off P1.
There's some good work coming in from the Ravens over at P1. As you said, LAG trying to hold grandma's control. We're in the green room. We're trying to figure out, is there a building that we could call grandma's? Like, is there any building at all? Like, maybe could it be like one of the random buildings on LSClo potentially? But I don't know. We'll put it up for debate. Maybe we call this one grandma's instead of cantina. Regardless, it is LAG who's there to lock it down and kick off the full 60 attempt. And really, if they could do it, how great it would be. Zero, meanwhile, had a solid game when we talk about the respawns at the very least. Finds himself in what could be some streak territory, 3 falls. So all of his teammates are no longer going to be in use. Back off the respawn screen. LAG, meanwhile, about to take the lead. The captain trying to lead the troops. Being very careful. Dolphin diving, looking for a point of entry.
Oh, it's a big opening kill to take the player off of that hard point for now. But still, the trade's going in favor of LAG. Zero is going to be the only player farthest pushed up. He does find himself on a 7-3. Once again, runs out of ammo. Tries to hit him with the knife. And at least he earns that kill streak for that airstrike. So now off the rotation, London with a great hold here can potentially close this one out. You have an airstrike that can then also cut off one of these lanes. At least for a little bit, but it's all about these initial gunfights. You cannot drop first.
Game very well could come down to this hill. Ravens set up early. He's got 3 players to look at. I'm sure he is screaming in the comms, I need some help. Somebody watch my top 10. Asim is there, and the great cover fire will work out for the Ravens. First wave through. Arcties continues to gain info.
That's 3 dead, and look at the spawns from LAG. Arcties the only player alive on this side of the map. Do not want to get put in the trap. So far, London have been holding this beautifully. A little bit of Python action up there in that type window from Asim to finesse his way, but London 15 points away from closing out this game. We have a tie game. This is a battle finish right here.
Both teams can win it here. Hook, with a little bit of sense of urgency, has to dive on in. Actually, it's somebody from the flank.
Oh.
Somebody's made it through. It's the full pinch established here from Neptune and Co. It is 4 down, and the Ravens now on the back foot.
Gotta go.
Varsity's falls. It's now on to Spark. Can anybody get here in time from the Ravens? No, they will not. LAG break exactly when they have to. I think it was Neptune. The same. And I imagine a few people pulling out their phones, you know, grabbing those QR codes and maybe picking out a few of these teams in regards to the team packs. Like I said, Ravens and LAG stealing our hearts so far throughout opening weekend. For the Ravens, the 3 Lions have done their job. Now it's time to see if the Ravens can do the same as we jump into our game number 5 here on some good old Albagra Fortress. Here we go.
Start us off. Asim actually puts himself in a great position, jumps up through top corner window, finds that first blood. And already starting off on the right foot is the Ravens. And the man advantage makes it a lot more difficult for LAG to try to execute this bomb over towards A, because there's no way in hell they're going to be able to get through those truck sides to try to get through double door to B. Oh, and the challenge is going to come in. Pollux does find one.
Nearly lines up, and there we have it. They line up and they fall. Look like for a moment a few players get caught up from LAG, and it does not matter. Ravens get him trapped inside of Art, and they do not let them leave.
That was just a beautiful defensive setup right there from the Ravens on taking the calculated risk. You're usually seeing players jump into the double windows from that box hop up, but this time Asim is like, nope, I'm going to go from the front arch and jump into your corner and completely catch you guys off guard. Once he gets that first kill, you see everybody on the minimap for LAG start to slow down. Now we have to focus on Asim, who is in our base. Not an easy task to take care of as the Ravens take round 1.
Well, Ravens grab our first. It's utility tossed either which way. Again, both of these teams have a good idea of where the other is going to be. It's just a matter of that first blood. I imagine that stat in particular is going to mean even more in terms of first bloods on this map. Both teams eager for the pick. Nassim could be the guy to do it.
Yeah, multiple players right now watching that cross towards A. Asim is slowly trying to creep his way up through that A side. Unfortunately, a couple shots do come in. Hoop does find the first blood this time around, but Pollux immediately there for the trade. Also invests his dead silence. He's going to be able to maneuver around the map completely silent. Just trying to finesse his way as that bomb is going down towards A.
With that one member going down, it does open up somewhat of a lane for LAG. Pollux trying to go on the flank. Meanwhile, Spark just heads his way straight through the bomb site, exposing the lanes. A current 2v2. Pollux position is going to be somewhat known for Spark. However, he has gone out of his grasps. Now it's time for Neptune to try to light it on up. 25 seconds to go. A bomb site to defend. And we've got ourselves a 1v1. Spark versus Pollux. The site he knows is clear. The position of which Pollux remains is really the only question at hand. Spark hunting him down, trying to see where he could be.
Oh my.
Will stay alive at Hay, going on a streak. Closes out the 1v1, and London 2-0.
Pretty sure Pollux picks up the ace on that round. Beautiful plays from him to immediately find that trade and then just finesse around with his dead silence. He finds that second kill right when his dead silence was about to run out. As long as you get a kill when dead silence is popped, you're going to get it all right back. It's a complete reset. So he was just running around the map, running around, eventually finds that kill into his bottom art. Then in the 1v1, he checks the bomb with about 14 seconds left. He knows that Spark isn't on it and just plays the clock beautifully and also picks up the final kill on a 5-3 as Pollux.
Oh, Asim knows that somebody's going to be inside the top art. It's just a matter of getting that nade to connect, which is a lot more difficult to do. Much easier said than done. But for Nasty, 2 picks early, and Asim gets the green light to rush on through. Neptune aware of what the call most likely was. Now the Ravens, with their numbers, decide to push through P1 side. Oh, feels like they just continue to get exploited. Zero, his positions as well, I think is no, never mind. I thought Neptune knew he was going to be at P1. Zero, meanwhile, is just hiding away. Hoping they can at least stay alive for the moment. Able to do it, and LAG have full control at that A bomb site.
Yeah, right there. The Ravens just got a little bit overzealous in a 4v2. We just start sprinting, giving them both free kills. What went from a 4v2 is now a 2v1. All left up to 0. No dead silence to work with. So he's going to be walking around the map like a hippo. Just slowly going to creep his way around. Perfect setup coming in from LAG. You have one player watching over bomb, one player watching his flank. So they're ready for this.
And not going to happen, as you'd imagine, especially with, like you said, no dead silence. Joe's like, I got to make my way across the entirety of the map. I don't have dead silence. And yeah, this one's not going to last very long. But a total collapse. I mean, it felt like the Ravens had that one dead to rights. Nasty finds the early 2 picks, and they really throw it away from there. Aggression ends up being the ultimate demise for London, as they've now allowed for LAG to grab one, put one on the board.
It's completely unacceptable.
It's even more intense, Jay.
That was unacceptable if you're the Ravens, because they can only attack one bomb. Everybody just simply stay alive and play the retake, but now they find themselves up 2-1, basically gifting a round to the LAG. Now I have to figure out an answer on their attacking round. This time, LAG, they're going to play this a little bit aggressive and through closed arch. It's going to be Hook closely pushed up towards the doors, but just wasting a lot of time trying to see if someone gets a little bit too aggressive.
Oh, and Paul, is Paul going to go for this?
No way.
Say, Arstees is literally staring right at him. Yeah, not going to happen, Paul. Maybe thought Arstees wasn't going to check that. Hook maybe could find the right timing. Somebody's going for the plant. However, Nasty is watching that crossfire. Both teams maybe a tad overzealous, but it is going to be LAG with the current numbers advantage. Bomb down as the Guerrillas look to begin the retake.
The retake is looking like it's going to come in from the front. Spark is going to play this slow while both of his teammates are trying to attack this from top art. Asim at least knows where one is. He's about to earn his dead silence as well. This can come into a key moment in this play. Nasty with that repinch finds that kill on the Spark 2v2. Asim with a huge 1v1. All left up to Arcedies. Not enough time. What a beautiful round coming in from the Ravens. Even after getting first blooded, are able to secure the attacking round and now grow that lead a little bit more. Up 3-1. Beautiful plays.
Yeah, and it felt like Hook. I mean, whenever there's a lot of damage going around, a lot of shots being exchanged, he pumps up that dead silence, rushes on through, quickly evens out the numbers, and the Ravens will pick them apart from there. And really, so far throughout this search destroy, I mean, we call out LAG. They win round number 3, but it starts off as a 2v4. Pretty much should be London in the driver's seat, up 4-0 in rounds, but they did give that one away from LAG. Able to right the wrongs as they'll find themselves up 3-1. Guerrillas in much need of a rebound. They'll head in toward the offensive side again, and it's a seam all over the first blood.
You just can't read that. You can't really expect him to jump into the corner building window every single round. He's been first blooded once, but he's gotten first blood 2 times that he has done that. Already the man advantage going in favor of the Ravens. You spot a player that's going to be able to cross onto that bomb, and just keep in mind, they're taking a lot of map control. Asim is still causing problems in towards their art. They take care of him, but at least Zero finds the trade.
At the very least, I mean, Asim ends up eventually dying, but sets up his teammate for a trade. Overall, very well done from the ex-Guerrillas member. However, Arstees has found himself in a prominent spot. Nobody aware of his positioning. No one has taken a look at this arch. Can he escape with his life?
Can't move.
He's caught on the rail. He's caught on the rail. Oh, Spark trying to save the day. If Arstees is able to escape from that position, Jay, it's a totally different round, but he could not get over the staircase. Another one for London.
Those staircases must have had something. They said, nope, no, I'm not going to let you up. You ain't getting out of this position. Truly unfortunate right there, because if he would have got out with his life a 2v2, it's probably a little bit more easy to handle. But Spark, he tries to help his teammate get out of that position. He eventually gets traded, and then it's all on Arcedies in the corner. These are beautiful players out here. Look at these guys. That's the next matchup. Oh, yeah.
This gave you a little bit of a preview for what is coming after this game. After this game 5 is done, we've got Optic Texas faced off against the Florida Mutineers. However, 2 more rounds needed for the Ravens. It could be coming home in more ways than one for this London team. Coming to this one, LAG on the defense in much need of a pick. Last time around, it was Asim getting all kinds of aggressive. And you can see LAG maybe being aware of such. Trying to hold their irons. Make sure they don't give anything away. And there it is.
Yeah, the first blood comes in from Nasty. Great work from him. to now put his team in the man advantage. And this time, LAG, they're going to try to switch it up. They're going to be aggressive through A, but who gets called out? And he gets taken down. So now 4v2. The bomb is going towards B, Lando. It might happen. It might just happen.
Brace yourselves, COD fans. Brace yourselves. It could be happening. I really want Fort to stay alive because it could have looked even more likely. It's all on Despart. Oh, no bomb planted, but it's a round regardless. London have been so clean in search and destroy all throughout this series. They looked unbelievably dominant in the hotel, and they are keeping that same pace here into Fortress. 1 round to go.
This is their third search and destroy map so far on the season. They have a total of 5 round losses. I don't know about you, Lando, but I think London might be the best search and destroy team in the game. They are playing flawless S&D. Every time they get a first win, they get it.
I have no stat that could say otherwise, so I'm going to agree with you.
It's gotta be, man. These guys aren't simply making mistakes. Even when they're down in man advantages, they're still making it work. That's gonna be 0, at least given the call out that a player is gonna be crossing over towards that A bomb. So it's looking like LAG should be able to get this bomb down. But multiple players from the Ravens are trying to set up this pitch to the backside.
I'm gonna get planted. Up to the Ravens for the retake. All 4 members still up for either side. However, that is about to change. These 35 seconds are about to be crazy. They're about to be hectic, and we just saw a few different dolphin dives from London players. Neptune, the first one called upon. He gets dropped to the barrel. Meanwhile, with Arsenes trying to take down a few. Alec going big for the double. 0 at least able to even things out. Time continues to tick away. Arsenes will fall. It's all on to Spart. It's all on to He gets dropped, and Asim will put the exclamation point on this series, taking down his old roster. And London says, hey, you dropped this. The Ravens finishing off 2-0, a staggering start to MW2 for these boys.